this new decision by the government that you and the Electoral Commissioner both will be responsible for the election funds and later on acquit whatever you're given, and in this case it's about 400 million kina, I suppose. Yes. Expenditure and acquittals. You're comfortable, you and the Electoral Commission?
Well, the current funding, the current processes that are in place for accountability is so stringent. I don't think there's any room for any abuse at all, because funds that will go for polling for our polling officers, it will go directly to the accounts. Everyone is directed to open accounts. That's what we've done. And the supervision and control of it rests with the provincial police commander. If a man is deployed for 5 days, he's paid 5 days allowance. If he's deployed for 14 days, he's paid 14 days allowance. Nothing more, nothing less on that. Okay. So I'm happy with the process.
Okay. Commissioner, I want to touch on this. Elections, at every election time, the people are supposed to be voting for their leaders. We in Papua New Guinea, and there's a tendency now that there is that quiet whisper out there, if you will, that the police are winning the members for Papua New Guinea. How do you react to that?
Public perception?
Public perception is that the police may be under their operation to providing security, may be influential in the outcome.
I'd like to dispel that.
Okay.
Maybe there is one or two opportunities, but I'd like to dispel that in a sense that I don't want Papuans to think that the work of the police out there is to ensure that that particular candidate wins the elections comes in. No, we are there to support everyone.
Okay.
And that's why you will see the approach that our provincial police commanders are taking now, because I've given that responsibility. Their appeal now is candidates to respect one another. Candidates to respect one another. Whether he's got his poster in your area, leave it there, because he's also a candidate. You don't have to go and tear it down. And that's the kind of appeal we're doing. There will be some locations that there will not be any police there, simply because we don't have the manpower to cover it. So we would expect that people vote, go there and vote, and as guided by the requirements of the electoral officials that are there. But this public and overriding perceptions that police will go and provide security to one particular candidate, no, I want to dispel that. The men and women out there are not there for that purpose. They're there to assist and provide that support to the Electoral Commission to ensure Electoral Commissioner delivers the election.
Okay. At this point, today, as you and I speak, are there any current members, particularly ministers, where police are providing escorts for them?
Yes, there is some. There's a couple of them. In most cases, the arrangements is that they write directly to the commissioner, and I approve that. What we've done is we've issued out instructions. Those that we consider are not appropriate in these circumstances to have police officers attached to them, we remove every one of those.
So what are the circumstances that you approve
mostly
a certain member to have policemen around, apart from the Prime Minister?
It's interrelated to threats. It's interrelated to threats at this level.
Threats from candidates? Threats from...
No, threats, the general threats that revolves around a particular person.
Okay. And how many of such people?
One policeman, two.
Yes. And how many current members are enjoying that benefit, if you will?
Not many, let me put it this way. There's probably three or four.
This is an election time now.
Yes.
And then the incumbent, if you will, with police support, does seem to have some sort of an advantage here.
No, I don't think so. And any notion about it and any slightest movement about this, we will remove the police officers straight away.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And candidates, ministers know that. They know that very well. And that you deploy the police in that and any way, form or shape to assist you in progressing your intentions, we will remove the police officer.
Okay. All right. Of the 10,000 or so, most of your men will be up in the highlands. What about the rest? I mean, you're not talking about Manus, you're not talking about Millen Bay and things like that. You consider them as to be really quiet?
Well, I don't know whether the quietness is a sign of good things to come bad things to come. But I've been to Manus last week and I came back. There's not
you launched the New Guinea
Yes,
Islands.
I launched the New Guinea Islands operations. It was quite difficult for me to know if there was anyone campaigning. There's no one there. There's a few posters being put out there. There is no candidate running around with microphone, nothing. I've been to Western Britain to resolve this issue that we have there. It's nothing. I haven't seen any.
Oh, well, on it, it's resolved.
Yes, yeah, it's resolved.
It's resolved.
It's resolved, so I'm happy with the progress so far on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You do the launching in for the Highlands region in Mount Hagen. I think
We will do it next
or
week
for
on Friday.
Momase and
Yeah, for the entire. The launching in Mount Hagen is for the entire country now. So
Okay,
we just
okay.
go straight into election mode.
All right.
Immediately after the launching, all our police personnel that are engaged will go straight back into election
okay.
related duties now.
Okay. Okay. Well, it's quite an important time ahead for
It
you, I
is.
suppose. Are you feeling the pressure? Are you feeling the pinch a little?
Well, I wish I could have more rest, but that's okay. It's work.
Okay.
It's work. I think the important thing is to make sure that our men, are part of the process in assisting the electoral commissioner. That's, for me, that's more important, and we ensure that we look after this personnel that have been deployed, because at the end of the day, they are the people in the front line. So I've got a very good support team in headquarters. I will be deploying one assistant commissioner to be based up in the Highlands to look after the forward operating command in Highlands. My assistant commissioner operations, Mr. David Manning, he will be fully based up in the Highlands,
Okay.
so that every decision-making process, he's got the authority of the commissioner to decide.
Okay.
on
That'll
the
be made known when you do the
Oh, yes,
launching up
yes,
there next
yes,
week.
yes.
Next week. Okay. All right, Commissioner, we are running out of time. 30 seconds. What would you like to tell the public about this election and what they need to do and what you are doing?
We've come the quietest during the nomination. Now we're going into the campaigning. It's still quiet. My appeal to every Papua New Guinean to take these elections seriously. The world is looking at us, and the perceptions that PNG goes to elections every time it goes to elections, says failed elections. It's our responsibility to make sure that this elections is not failed in any way, form, or shape. So I would ask that every candidate respect each other. Every Papua New Guinean must understand the process of elections and respect the process of the elections, and that ensure that they also support their candidate in a lawful way within the context of our laws, so that when we go to elections, we elect the leaders they are rightly and appropriately selected by our people. So that's my appeal. Let's make this an election violence-free for the good of our country.
Sir, thank you for coming on to the program.